This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. All right, listen up. Lotto is the original millionaire maker. With draws every Wednesday and Saturday, you could become the next Lotto millionaire. How good would it be if you were next to win the Lotto jackpot? You can get involved and play this Saturday, so don't forget to buy your ticket by 7:30 p.m. You never know. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by AMG Logistics and in association with Her Game 2. I'm Paul Hipkiss, and I'm pleased to be joined by Claire Giblin, as always.
Good evening.
Mr. Fixer, Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone.
Mark Meredith from the US.
Evening all.
The Chairman, Alan Watton.
Good evening.
Chris Browne.
He's busy trying to fix the sound.
One job.
Chris Browne, who's got his headphones off and not listening. There you go. And I'm pleased to say, and absolutely delighted to say, we're joined tonight by a Blues icon, the one and only, and it's the first time for this show as well to have a current player on the show. Number 10, Mr. Lukas Jutkiewicz.
How are we doing?
Good, mate. You all right?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good. Appreciate you taking time out to do this, mate. It's much appreciated. So we're going to sort of go over a couple of games, obviously, that we've recently played over the last week or so. So we've obviously had Fulham under 21s at home and beat them 7-1 last Tuesday, and then we had Sutton United away on Sunday, where we made a great sub. We made a massive difference that wore the number 10 shirt and came on and nearly scored as well. So Claire, over to you. Start us off with the your lowdown on the under 21s and Sutton United.
I think we played really well against Fulham. I think everyone was shocked that we actually started the first 11, really. The normal League 11. We were expecting lots of changes. I think to start off with, I thought Fulham played quite well. Their under 21 side, the number 47 stood out. I thought his goal was brilliant. Fair play to them. But I just think we wore them down. And it was so nice, the fact that we carried on playing our own game. We got Dykes on the score sheet. We got lots of other players in with the goals as well. So that was really good. I thought the atmosphere was okay. I'm surprised there wasn't more there, considering you can get away points for that as well. But I thought fair play to them as well. I think they brought about 18 fans. So it was quite nice for them. More students than fans.
Yeah, that's what you call proper diehard fans, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just thought that we just played our game, and you could tell it was men against boys. Going on to Saturday, I think fair play to Sutton. I think that they defended quite well. They sat back in there. They had 2 banks of 4. At some points it was 5 or 6. And they made it really, really difficult. I thought the Laird penalty that should have been was ridiculous. I don't know how it happened. Obviously, we couldn't really see from where we were. But it was a lovely little ground. They made us feel really welcome. The stewards were really nice as well. And I just think that we played our game again. I just think we need to kind of make more chances in front of goal. And I thought that some of the crossing was really good. and not just because he's on here, but I thought that a lot of the time we were crossing the ball and it was crying out for Juki to come on.
Yeah.
And then obviously Juki came on, and to be fair, mate, you absolutely played out your skin. You made such a difference. I mean, I've told you before, the turn and the shot, I thought it was in. And we always get really excited when you come on you to score. So really happy to go to the next round. And I think that it's building, isn't it? I think, we're now second, but we just need to just make a little bit more in front of goal. I think take the chances that we create, but really pleased again. Another 2 wins.
And Juki, I'll come on to you next, mate. I guess whoever we're going out against, whether it's Fulham under-21s, whether it's Sutton United, we have to show them respect, don't we? Because it's no game's easy, is it really? Whoever you're playing. Yeah,
no game of football's easy at all. And I think it's about also replicating who do we want to be on the football pitch, what do we want to look like, what do we want the product to look like for the fans, and it's making sure that we can replicate that week in, week out, regardless of the opposition. So different kinds of tests when you're playing against a young Fulham side, and there's always the potential for complacency to seep into players, particularly when you go 3, 4, 5. And I think what was so pleasing to see was the energy, the intensity, the will to keep pushing forward, even though we did have such an advantage. And it shows great professionalism within the group as well, to demand even when the results sort of beyond question. And then a different challenge against Sutton, where, again, like you touched on, they made it very, very difficult for us. They put so many bodies behind the ball, didn't allow for much space. The pitch, obviously at that level, it's not quite the standard that you're used to in terms of the way we want to move the ball quickly to open up the opposition. It's very much more difficult on that type of pitch, which slows it up a little bit and it allows their shape to get across and fill those gaps. So that was a really professional performance from a different point of view as well. So a lot of things to be positive about, I think.
Yeah. I'll come on to everyone else in a sec. But while it's in my head, in all my time as a Blues fan, I've had a season ticket since 1995, since I was 16. So that's 30 years getting on. You're the best player I've ever seen at taking headed goals in that time. And I don't want to say that just because you're there. I've said it on here before. But just a tip to anyone out there, that might be trying to make it in the game, that is good in the air. Is it so important to head the ball down, do you think, or you're going to know, but is it important to head the ball down when you're aiming for goal, or just head towards goal? Or what do you recommend to anyone out there trying to make it as a player that's a similar kind of up to yourself?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's timing. If you can arrive fast onto the ball, then it becomes a lot easier to generate power than if you're standing in there already. So you see a lot of these great, even midfielders, that they make those late runs into the box and it looks like they're just glancing the ball, but it flies off their head because they've got that momentum of the timing. I mean, even on Sunday, I tried to head the ball down, but obviously, unfortunately, headed it into their defender's head. But in general, you're looking to head the ball down. It's more difficult for goalies to get their hands down than when they're around their face. But a lot of it, I think, comes down to just the will to want to go and attack the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pleased to say we're now joined by Mr. Lovable Robe as well, Mark Adam.
Hello, everybody. You all right, Juki? Hello, everyone. Oh, sorry, I'm late. I've just got back from Sutton.
Do you have to put 50p in the meter or something in your server or in your electric?
Yeah.
Country Juki, they don't really have electricity there,
It's his prison cell, though. I mean, it's looking actually rather bright, so we must have put an extra 50 pence in today.
You was there Sunday, weren't you, Mark?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was just catching on the tail end of what Claire said. I think we dominated. To be fair, I don't think we were really sort of in trouble. It looked like we completely dominated. I know they had a couple of sort of half chances, but it's the old cliche, isn't it? We did what we had to do. We never looked in danger. I didn't at any minute think we were going out the cup. But to be honest, second half, I don't know what Juki thought, but I thought they'd throw the kitchen sink at us the last 20 minutes. But it never really happened. We still controlled it. They almost seemed content to want to lose 1-0. But I've got to say, what a good laugh it was. It's like going back to the old days a little bit with the old terrace and stand-where-you-like and the blokes with the trolleys full of meat running up and down the sideline. It was like it was
great.
It was so funny. Just the sheer banter. I mean, Dukey, did you hear any of it? Did it make you smile when you're sort of warming up and stuff? So I thought, it was a really.
It's funny in those sorts of atmospheres. It sometimes can feel like a pre-season friendly because you can hear the individual shouts and the individual bits of banter as well. The general song and noise from the crowd, so you could hear all of the shouts there. And I think even you touched on it with the meat sort of going around. That there was burger vans on the side of the stand, and the lads that even as we were walking out on the pitch touched on that. It was a real sort of felt like just genuine football match. Taking away all the airs, and it just brought a little bit of a grittiness to it that was quite enjoyable.
And then, like going back to the 7-1 as well quickly. How enjoyable was it to see us score 7? I mean, regardless of the opposition, to see the net bulge sort of 7 times, it's always enjoyable no matter who you're playing.
And you're near me, Rob, as well for both games. I mean, how enjoyable
near you as well. You can prove that I didn't smell. But no, two really enjoyable games in different circumstances.
Yeah. And anything you want to add, mate, on the 2 games that hasn't already been said?
No, I think, we'll come on to what it was like up at St Andrews shortly as well. But I think the difference was the fact that the Fulham guys give it a go, to be honest, in that first half. And then that was an absolute wonder strike for their goal. It was absolutely superb, and fair play for him. But the second half was just totally a different time. And as soon as you got into the lead again, it was like, this isn't going to give up. And it could have been more. They absolutely. I was loving the fact that there's a never say die attitude. And it's also I'm not giving up. So even when it's 5 and 6, the team are going hell for leather because I want to score another one. And I absolutely love that from the attitude perspective. And on Sunday, the one thing I give Sutton was they set the stall out very early. They didn't want to concede early in the game, and they did make it very hard. I totally echo what Claire said. I mean, how that wasn't given as a penalty. It doesn't matter how many times you watch it. It's unreal. But they fought well, and another great finish by Williamson. He's just got that knack at the moment of being in the right place at the right time, and it's absolutely superb. And that record continues as well. Every time he scores, we go on to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a very good player, isn't he? I mean, he's got so much ability. He's so good with the ball at his feet as well. And congratulations to him as well for being nominated for Player of the Month as well, hasn't he, for October. So, but yeah, Juki, is he good to train with and, etc. You can see a lot of ability there yourself, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys can see the ability, the technical touch, the vision. He comes up with some outrageous passes, doesn't he, for the strikers in behind their defence. He's always looking to penetrate with that, and just a really cool customer as well. Never seems to panic. Never seems to be too much for him. So no, I think it's excellent signing so far. Obviously, it's early days, but no, he's been a joy for everyone to watch, really.
Absolutely, and he's one of many as well. One of many excellent signings. What a window we had! It was brilliant, wasn't it? But yeah, Alan, I'll come on to you next, mate. Give us your thoughts on the Fulham under-21s and Sutton United. Anything that we haven't already said?
Well, the Fulham game was just like you wish they'd play every week. I know the opposition was, but the opposition came. It's different. Sutton were trying to not to make themselves look stupid, to be honest. Whereas Fulham, they're making their ways in their career. That they wanted to do something. They wanted to play and show the people that they work for that they can play. And unfortunately, that made for an open game, which obviously didn't suit them. I have to say that Sunday. And everything everybody else has said about it, I agree with. But as an event, and I think this was something to do with the TV people, as an event, it was very disappointing because you certainly didn't got you on the edge of your seat because you kept sitting there. Well, this lot never going to score against us, and it's going to be how many we score, and we only scored 1. That's fine, professional performance and all this, but having sat through Tamworth and Huddersfield, and then Northampton and Kettering, which were cup ties, to die for. As was a bit of an anticlimax, and I was kind of hoping that we would show the world that this is FA Cup football as it should be played, and it wasn't. And no complaints about anything. People did their jobs, but I was quite excited on Sunday morning, thinking this is going to, following on from these two games I'd watched, this is going to be the FA Cup, and it wasn't. And what made it even more disappointing, where do we get drawn? As far north as you can get against Blackpool. Thank you very much. So it's I please God that we get through to the third round and get something decent.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a complete arm wrestle, wasn't it, on Sunday? That's how I saw it. It was they were bad.
Absolutely right. Yeah, and they didn't do anything other than defend. And even as you said about the last 20 minutes, we're only a goal down. Let's give it a go. They didn't. No. We were still in control of the ball for the last 20 minutes, and even when the whistle went, we were still on the attack. They don't not been seen in our end. No shots on goal, no saves by our keeper. Well, that ain't what cup football's about, is it really?
No, not at all. And Meredith, how are you, mate? And obviously they left the grass a bit longer as well, didn't they, on Sunday to try and stop us playing?
Yeah, sure. It's as you say, it's the magic of the FA Cup, and they're going to try everything they can to, to take us off. And same as what Juki said earlier. And they're two really difficult games. Because for players, coaches, I know myself being involved in some games, not at professional level, but at least at youth level, where you expected to go and win and expected to go and show everybody what you're about, it can become hard. And sometimes you can take your foot off the gas a little bit. So I was pleased that, in both games, especially the Fulham one, obviously we were far more superior than the young kids, even though they had some talent. And we showed that, and we didn't take the foot off the gas at all with the 7 goals. I think everyone was happy about that, apart from Chris, probably, right? But and then obviously Sunday, I thought it was just a professional job. I was actually worried going into Sunday's game. After watching Tamworth and Huddersfield, I thought, this is a banana skin, on the TV, ready to watch. And I thought that the team came out, and again, they showed their quality throughout the 90 minutes. And even though it was only 1-0, as everybody said on the show so far, didn't ever feel like we were going to lose the game. So take both of those games, and I think I don't think we even spoke about the Mansfield game because we wasn't on the show last week, did we? So again, we got, I think, a 1-1 draw away there, didn't we? That we mentioned about, which is again, we got another point. We move forward. It's an away point. It's a hard place to go to. So I'm excited for Saturday in Northampton now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, as a father of a daughter, obviously, that's a season ticket holder now, I'm going to hand over to you now, Claire, to talk about her game too. I mentioned at the start that this show is in association with her game too as well. And, I think it's a fantastic thing. And, Claire, over to you. Just give us the lowdown on her game too.
Yeah, so I've been part of her game too for the last 2 or 3 years. There is a group of us who are for Birmingham City. We're one of the biggest groups within the country. So that we go to home and away games. We take part. We have different games for her game too. We've had the Southampton game before. We had last season. We had games for it as well. So we are we're an unpaid voluntary campaign led by females who are trying to create a safe and welcoming environment for everybody, regardless of their background, their ability or their gender. And it's making sure that everybody's got the opportunity to participate in sport and have access to sport as well. So we're really proud because we have Juki as our player advocate this season. We've met a couple of times at her game to events as well. And it's really important that we have male allies within the Her Game 2 campaign. And we really value Jutkiewicz support, and it's really important that we have, obviously, I know on this show, I'm really grateful that I have all of you guys as well, as, you know, you listen to the opinions. We have women watching as well. And it's great that we've got Jutkiewicz there as like an idol that people can look up to and listen to. So just some questions for Jutkiewicz with the Her Game 2 campaign. Why did you become an advocate of it?
So yeah, I think I've been to a couple of the games where Emily's it's been the Her Game 2 fixture, and I've met with you guys after the game and spoke about what you're trying to do, and so I was always aware of it in the background and thought it was a tremendous thing that you were doing, and then Emily gave a sort of a presentation after training to all the players, and she mentioned that there were advocates at most of the football clubs within the Football League, and that there wasn't one for Birmingham. And yeah, I just felt like it was something that I wanted to be involved in. I thought it was something that's incredibly important. Got a little bit of skin in the game myself with, you know, I have a daughter that I would hope in the future is able to go to football games and not have to feel like she's out of place, or not have to feel like that she doesn't belong.
So within the sport, Juki, do you think that there needs to be more done? Do you ever hear it on the pitch, or do you ever see it? Have you ever seen it within all the years that you've been playing?
So I think when you're on the pitch, it is very difficult to, you're fully locked in and focused on what's going on the pitch. So I don't tend to know or hear myself, but I'm well aware of some of the things that are said and done at football matches. And obviously, I think it's just so important that we raise awareness amongst people that it's not acceptable, and that there are actually avenues that can be going down to report these things, and it's not just up to women, it's up to all of us, it's up to men to be allies and to make sure that we actually stand up and say, no, it's not acceptable. We've got this tremendous product of football that we all want to enjoy, and I just think it should be available for all of us to come and feel welcome and feel like you're part of that community. So I think that there's it's important that we all stand up.
I think one big positive to back that up as well is the way the women's game has grown over the last few years. You know, it's a lot bigger now, isn't it, than what it was, say, 10 years ago even, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, sorry, I'll let you
go.
Go on. No, I was just saying it has been amazing, the growth of the game and the opportunities that women have to play football and to develop their game as well, and hopefully that continues and grows even further. I think it was a big moment when England won the Euros. It was something that, you know, I remember watching the game out of the back of the Bull Ring. And to have that on a big screen out in the public, I just don't. When I was growing up, I don't think you would have ever got that at a women's tournament, and so there's been growth, and it just goes to show that the will to watch that is there, and it's just growing the product and making sure that there are more eyes on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that the growth is really important. I mean, you know, over 50 years ago, the women's game was banned. We couldn't play football, and I think I read today that for the next game at Wembley, we've sold over 70,000 tickets. So I think it does make a difference, and I know that Craig, especially for the Blues ladies as well, you get really involved in that as well.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it is. There's this now family atmosphere when you go down, especially to the ladies' games, and there is this sense of belonging, being there, and you know, we've seen Emily there, we've seen Helena there as well, and for those that were there at the weekend, it's an experience. You know, we didn't get the result we wanted on Sunday, however, that rapport, etc., that was built on the day was phenomenal. You know, we had over 1,700 people there. Disappointingly, around 400 that left after the men's game. That's my only disappointment and takeaway from the day. But the one thing is, it's all there. It's there on the day. You know, I take Liv down. She goes to every single ladies game. We had Hope and we had Amy joining us at the Solihull OSC meeting. And on that day, Hope set a challenge. And the challenge was she wanted to see more of the families and the guys that were in the room actually attending the game. And on Sunday, they did that. So we had people for the first time going down and thoroughly enjoying it. Yes, they're going to go back. Others, they might not go back all the time, but they'll do the odd few games. And that all comes down as well to the work that's been done with her game too, about attracting people down to the games, getting involved and making sure that ladies have the opportunity as equal as the men to show the skills and talents that they've actually got. And, you know, I'd love nothing more than maybe one day to see a mixed team fielded, because I think whilst the physicality might not be there, what I can say is the drive, the passion is, and, you know, they absolutely love it, and that's the way it should continue. And it comes down to people like Duke pushing and showing how much it cares within the men's game to bring it also to life. You see more families down at the men's as well now than ever before. I mean, God, you know, a few seasons ago, it was me and one daughter. Now it costs me a fortune because it's me, 2 daughters and a wife.
You can afford it.
So, you know, it's that's what it's all about. And Paul, you've mentioned your daughter going down with first season tickets. So it's definitely expanding.
No, 100%, yeah. And even off the field as well, you know, when you switch the television on now, you know, you see Laura Wood, you see Karen Carney, you see Sue Smith, you know, and these are all really good at what they do as well, you know. So, and again, going back 15, 20 years, you wouldn't have seen that, would you, you know? So it's definitely making a big difference, Claire, I think. Not just her game too, but in general, you know, the overall message.
Yeah, I think, like, when I was younger, I was the only girl who was playing football. I know there's lots of girls who play in boys' teams as well. I know more people than not that are accepted, like women are accepted. I mean, Craig accepts me next to him most games.
Can't get away from it.
Telling him what to do and telling the boys what to do. But I think that it's just the minority, and it's unfortunate that sometimes the minority spoil it for the majority. I've seen a lot more female fans go into games. I think that it's becoming more of a culture for women to go to football matches. Do we still get the comments? Of course we do. But like, I think Nigel Mann just put, it's great to see female officials in the game as well. And I think there's more and more, especially in the women's game, I think there's more female officials than men. So it's nice to see all the different ideas. I mean, Emily's just put a charity game idea, get the women and the men to play together. I think that would be brilliant.
Yeah. And that's a nice way to the shout box, Claire. So have we got any questions coming in for Duke? I guess we've got hundreds, haven't we, Chris?
Paul, can I just say something about the ladies' game on Sunday?
Yeah, go on.
Once I managed to sort out a way of watching it, because Blues TV were not good, I watched that game, and it was at club level, that was the best women's game I've seen. Both sides was at it. I mean, it was really, there was proper tackling. It was end to end. Blues played really well. He hit the post 3 or 4 times. And I sat there and I thought, obviously disappointed in the result, but it was a really good game of football. And I think, and that's in a fortnight since I've seen them. I mean, I'm not saying they haven't played well before, but this was special. This was a real, and I don't like to say, obviously it was like men playing, because it wasn't. But you know, it was nearer to men than I've ever seen women play. If you put it, if you know what I mean. And I really enjoyed it, and I could see lot more people there than normal, and I just hope they appreciated what they'd seen. It was a pity we didn't get. If we'd have won the game and played like that, you know, you'd have probably doubled the gate the following week. But it was so good, and I just really enjoyed it. The disappointment having watched the men for an hour and a half, and then watching the women, really, I'm not criticising our men. But I'm saying the girls had a real good go, and they were obviously pissed off that they were losing, and they really had a go. and it made for a good game.
Every week.
Always once do you need to find that bleep machine. On the message board, Juki, there's one particular person that I've got to give a shout out to because I know you met her at the pre-season game at Solihull Moors. She's a member of Solihull OSC and an absolute scream, always at the ladies and the men's as well. Stacey Mason. She has constantly posted questions on here. I'm not going to read them all out, but there's one in particular that I've got to get an answer to. She wants to know that when Blues play Blackpool in the FA Cup, will you please go on the Pepsi Big 'Un with her?
The roller coaster.
The last 10 years on the roller coaster.
Hopefully I'm in the squad. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed I'm travelling, yeah.
Indeed. And, I mean, some of the other things that are coming in terms of it, obviously a lot of love for yourself, Duke, in terms of the various goals that have kept us in competitions, games, leagues, etc. across the years. The stalwart has been used on numerous occasions as a way to describe your time at the club. I've got a question. It's a little bit left field, but you scored against us, against Bolton.
I thought we moved on from that.
Yeah. Well, my question is, at the time, obviously everything was downtrodden. We were going out the league. When that second goal went in and the equaliser, how did it feel to be on the pitch and to hear that sort of noise coming from the set of fans? And did that at all sway you towards coming towards Birmingham?
Do you know, it wasn't. It was initially when the equaliser went in, but it was also long after the final whistle went. I mean, we were in the changing rooms afterwards. You could just hear the noise from outside and the jubilation, and it was it was incredible. And I distinctly remember speaking with the Bolton players after the game, said, fair play, that the numbers that they brought, they deserved that day, and they really did. And I still get a little bit of stick from some of the staff that were there on that day that still work at the club. Some of the medical team, the physios and the masseurs, and they still hammer me for it. But I tried to remind them that if I hadn't have scored that goal, they wouldn't have had that moment. So that, you're welcome.
I think we forgive you for it, mate. You've more than made up for it in the last 8 years.
Definitely.
Yeah. Got to say, Juki, what was if you could go back in time and relive one Blues goal that you scored for us? What's been your absolute favourite? If you had to boil it down to one.
Well, that is tough. I think I'd have to probably, and it'll probably change most days, but I think I'd go with my home debut just because it's kind of set the wheels in motion, really. Sheffield Wednesday at home, 93rd minute winner. I'd been out injured for so long, and I really, at that point, I wasn't sure of my standing in the career, whether I was going to continue to have a career in the game. I was really fighting for it. I'd had a year out with a knee injury, played a lot of football. It's coming to a new football club, and you hope to try and make a good impression. So to score the winner on my home debut like that, I think, that was definitely a pivotal moment for me.
Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yes,
yeah. Remember who put the cross in?
Yeah, it was Jax Magoma. In the area.
Yeah. Now you started out your youth career with Southampton and obviously then Swindon, wasn't it? And then you finished up playing for Swindon and then finished up at Everton, wasn't it? After that, how did that come about?
Yeah, so I was at Swindon. I left school and went to Swindon, and then Everton I managed to get into the first team at a relatively young age, and Everton took a punt on me at that point. So I went up there I signed when I was 17 and went up there when I was 18. So it was quite a big move for me at the time, really, to travel up there. And in hindsight, but perhaps not ready for that big move, but certainly a learning experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on to Plymouth on loan and Huddersfield. I've just got your Wikipedia in front of me. I don't know all this off the top of my head. Motherwell as well. I think you scored the goal of your life for them, didn't you, up in Scotland, Motherwell? I remember that. It's like on an angle, wasn't it? You just absolutely pelted it on the volley in the top corner.
Yeah. No, my friends told me to just stop playing it after that night. They said, look, you're never going to score a better goal than that. You may as well pack it in now. So
Yeah. Would you say that is your best goal to date? Is that your best goal to date as well? Would you say?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Anyone that's not seen that, do get on YouTube and just type in Lukas Jutkiewicz Motherwell, and you will get that goal, and it's just absolutely incredible. But for me,
was that during the 6-6 draw?
Yeah, it was the 12th goal, actually. Yeah,
12th goal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming on back onto your Blues goals, one of my favourites of yours was the header away at Forest when Mags put it in again, and you just the way you redirected it into the far corner in that yellow shirt was just
Beautiful header.
And way end behind that goal as well. Yeah, that was a great moment. I love that.
Yeah, the limbs were unreal, weren't they, when you scored that?
It was a good moment. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, any other questions coming in? Let's do fire in your live questions for us, everyone that's watching on the shout box, and we'll ask as many as we possibly can. But Craig, are you picking up any more, mate?
Yeah. So a couple of people are asking. In terms of your time at the club, you've mentioned then a couple of the goals that you've scored. Of the players that we will come on to in the future, they've said, who was the funniest in the dressing room that you've actually been with? And it hasn't come out for a while, but a question's there. Any stories?
that I can tell on this. I'm not sure. Who's the funniest? I mean, there's always characters in the change room, and if I say David Davis, I don't know if people would believe me because he's so dry, but some of his one-liners are incredible, like how sharp he was. Yeah, he could end someone pretty quickly with just a comment.
We've had Digger on the show before, Juki. He was brilliant as well.
Yeah, I mean, and he wouldn't have even shown you half of it. He was hilarious. Yeah, he would drop people. He was so funny. But I mean, even dare I say, like, even people like that, you just wouldn't expect, like Scott Hogan, incredibly dry banter, like, so sharp, so quick with his wit. Really, really fun to be around as well. I think, I mean, you'd always have people that, there's different types of characters as well. You know, Harley Dean was always someone that was really bubbly, always playing jokes on people, always trying to lift the mood of the place. Someone like that as well was always a bit of a character. And then again, someone like Lee Camp is one of my favourites. He's a big fan of The Office, so every single day would be a quote from The Office. And it seems to be something with goalkeepers, to be honest. I end up being friends with goalkeepers. I don't know if it says something about me or about them, but Big John Ruddy, Adam Legstins, Neil Etheridge, all really good friends of mine. But I think the common denominator there was their love of The Office.
Yeah, now going back to Harley Dean, I remember him when he came on the show telling us that he glued your shoes to your locker, to the surface of your locker.
He did. You know, I think it was a game that we were winning, and he was not in the squad, and he thought it was I had these terrible shoes. I'm not particularly fashion savvy, so just to say the least. I wear what's comfortable. I'm not up with the trends, and so the lads like to give me a bit of stick. But yeah, he was not in the squad for this game, and I think we were winning, so he thought it was safe to come down to the changing room and super glue my shoes to my locker. And I think that whoever we were playing against equalised and looked like they were going to get a winner. So I think he was trying to get back into the change room to get them off, just in case we lost the game. But it turned out that Chris Shute, the kit man, had to try and like almost saw them off. But he bought me a new pair of shoes, so I'll take it.
Did you get any revenge though as well? I hope you did.
No. Do you know, it's a danger. Once you start doing that tit for tat, it's such a dangerous game because there's always someone that's willing to take it one step further. Yeah. There's a few that have probably taken it just a touch too far. Yeah, leaving things in cars that don't smell particularly great.
Yeah. Any other questions, Craig?
So there's one coming from Adam Wilkes actually, and he said, after signing for another year in the summer, did you feel that at times it was going to be tougher as things progressed? So I guess he means by like the extra signings, etc., that were coming into the club. But also, when you were having those discussions, the new owners, how did they? I guess what persuaded you to stay from the new owners? You know, is it like all the other players are saying, which is the future is really bright, and we want we want to take this forwards. And the final question that's come is, what do you think of Mr. Brady? What was it like to meet him when he first came?
Okay, I'll take them in order, shall I? Yeah, so initially the biggest surprise after the Norwich game, and that was, I'd say that other than my ACL injury, the toughest moment of my career. Something that I've tried to fight against for so long, being here and given everything to try and keep us up. So for us to not make it on the last day was heartbreaking. So to then come out after the game and see the chairman walking round and being disappointed, but also strangely upbeat and explaining how, look, this is just a bump in the road, that there is nothing stopping us going. There's not going to be a pullback in investment. They're really pushing the club forward, and it was just a case of this is maybe a step back to then go forward. So having heard that from him and the positivity from that side of things, that the future was bright, and I think that filtered through to the fans. And whilst we've been in the Championship for a few years, I think that the previous ownerships there wasn't that element of hope there, because it was just a case of firefighting. There was no long-term plan and vision for this football club, whereas the investment that the chairman, that the night head have brought in, it provides that hope for fans, and players are the same. They want hope for their club, and that was the biggest thing. And I wanted to be a part of and bringing it back, really. So it was relatively simple to make that decision once I knew that they're fully committed in their investment in the club.
And now the match day experience at St Andrews is so much better than it was before. You know, the screens they put up and the improvements at St Andrews, it's just absolutely phenomenal. There's a DJ everywhere you turn, there's music going. And for us fans, you know, the match day experience is so much better. But is it the same for players as well, Duke, than what it was before as well, would you say?
That's right. It's so it's not only investment in the playing squad, it's an investment in all departments of the football club. I think it had been left to its own devices for so long that they've come in and they've decided that, look, we're going to push every single department. We're going to invest in every area of the football club to make sure that it's the club that we all want and the fans deserve, really. So you can see it on a match day, and it's not just that; it's behind the scenes on every day in the training ground. So it's really pleasing for us to see that's going to continue as well. So that was a big part of it for me.
Yeah. And have you thought about sort of, you know, life after football when you finish playing? Are you sort of planning on getting your coaching badges or anything like that?
Yeah, so I've done some of my coaching badges. I've done a degree in sports directorship, a master's degree from Manchester Uni. I finished that in July, which was great to have that done. And that was a couple of years. So to have that taken and sorted, that was a big weight off my shoulders, actually, to get that done and graduate. That was great. Doing some scouting courses as well. So I've been dipping my toe in a little bit of everything, really. I think day to day, the way that I am, the way that I like to train, I kind of want to think and focus only on being the best professional I can be on a day to day basis. But then when you step away from the club, and in my evenings, I do tend to start thinking about, I'm no spring chicken. Of course, I have to start thinking about what that's going to look like and how I'm going to hopefully transition successfully from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've had a couple of other comments.
Go on, Craig.
Emily Drakely, first of all, obviously a huge link with the Here Game too, and actually, founder really of the group, had said, I think the response to you coming on this podcast tonight says so much, Duke. Your attitude and support is something that many people look up to, and we are so proud to have you representing us. Thank you. And I think that just sums up why a lot of fans and people are feeling. Nigel Mann, though, has said, please, before the end of the season, with all the cost of living issues, can you think about having Duke put on the back of your shirt rather than your full name?
You still have to pay per letter, is that the case?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no problem. I'll see if they can change that in my EFL register.
And then others have said, who was your inspiration when it came to football, and what made you come forwards towards the professional side? Who was your I suppose, idol at the time?
So I grew up in Southampton. So for Southampton fans, Matt Le Tissier is kind of number one, really. He's the guy for us. He was someone that I loved going to watch down at the Dell when I got an opportunity to. And then on the other side would be Alan Shearer at the time. Again, he's that sort of old school, old-fashioned centre forward, really. Put his head in where it hurts, that sort of thing. And I really liked his style of play. And I guess, tried to model myself on that a little bit. So those were the main two, really. Yeah, those. That
explains the one-arm celebration when you score.
Yeah, it's been a little while, so I have to remind myself. Maybe I have to change up my celebration, perhaps. But I grew up, so it was my mum and my four sisters growing up, and to be honest, none of them were interested in football actually. So it's a bit of a random one that I ended up playing football to begin with, and then making a life out of it, really. So it's just one of those things, I think.
Yeah.
Michael One's also asked, is it true that you play the guitar in the dressing room, or is it just a rumour?
Not in the dressing room. I'm not sure, I'm not sure the manager would be too happy with me interrupting his team talk with an acoustic rendition of Keep Right On or something. I'm not too sure.
Can you do that? Can you play it, JK?
Can I play? I can play a little. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well I can play, but I do like to play in my spare time.
Can you play Keep Right On though?
I'm sure I'll be able to. Yeah, I mean, not right now. I'll have to have a little bit of practice. But
have a practice and then come on at the end of the season, and you can.
I was going to say, entertainment for the Players Awards. There we go. We've already sorted it. So anybody from the club
we'll get a nice little stall set up.
The most people I may have performed in front of are probably my wife, my two kids, and maybe the in-laws. So I'm not too sure.
You sing as well, Juka? You sing as well?
No, now you're really trying to embarrass me. Well.
Mark Meredith, obviously, I know you got any questions for Juki? Obviously, being a coach yourself, mate.
No, I've got a job for him if he wants one of them, but
I might need one soon.
Yeah, over in the States, you're welcome to come over. I suppose just for me, I work with youth players all the time, and there's probably kids that hopefully watch this show as well. So I suppose just going through the youth system, what made you continue to do what you're doing then to become a pro? Was there something? I know it's a hard. I talk to my youth players all the time about how hard it is to stay away from everything else that's going on and concentrate on football. But coming from someone like yourself, you got some advice there?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is harder nowadays as well for young kids. I think there's so many distractions for them, more so than perhaps when we were growing up. I think I have to, worry and think about that with my own kids. And there's so many these games, consoles, all of sort of social media as well. When you start to grow up, there's lots and lots of distractions for them. But I think for me, it was just finding something that you're passionate about, whether that's football or something else. It's a case of if you're passionate about something and dedicating to yourself, then even if it's not about making it as a professional footballer, that those sorts of dedication to a craft can serve you well in all aspects of life, in my opinion. It's not just whether you make it as a pro or not. But I think your attitude towards your craft is the main thing for me.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. Picture this, the perfect Saturday. You wake up, meet up with your mates, and watch your team score all the goals and secure those all-important 3 points. And then, just when you think it can't get better, bam, you become the next Lotto millionaire. Now that's a day you'd never forget. Lotto is the original millionaire maker. Will you be next? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Now, question for me again. we want you to build, and everyone's aware of this, so we want you to build the perfect Blues player based on these stats from who you played with for us over the years. Left foot, right foot, speed, heading, passing, dribbling, skill, and football IQ. So we'll start with, who's the best player would you say you've played left-footed at Blues to start with?
Left-footed. Let's put a short list together. So you're thinking someone with a great left foot. Jonathan Grounds had a really, really nice left foot, didn't he?
Pedersen.
Yeah, Christian Pedersen was left-footed. Yeah.
Terrell.
John Terrell. Yeah,
John Terrell was quality, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think even someone like you'll remember Steve Seddon didn't play a huge amount of games of Blues, but had a great left foot actually. I think we'll probably go with if I'm not obviously my left foot maybe I don't know that. I think we'll have to go with Jonathan Grounds on that one. I think,
right foot.
Lovely left foot. Right foot. Isn't there? Pakey's got a good right foot. Someone who's good at the kicks.
Shay Adams.
Hammer, but then even someone like Craig Gardner, what he could do with a dead ball is right.
Definitely. Speed, fastest player you played with?
Fastest Isaac Vassell. Another such a shame that his injuries got the better of him, because I felt like there was a really, really good player in there and someone that was going to go and go on to a higher level as well. But he was so in the end, it's probably something that might have actually hindered him. But yeah, he was rapid.
I remember him going on a run against Bournemouth in the Cup. And then, he got injured not so long after that, didn't he, against them?
On this game on a Friday night, we beat them 1-0 in Cottrell's first game in charge, and he just absolutely smoked their defence. They could not live with him. He's just too fun. So we go with Isaac Vassell with the pace.
Yeah. I think he would have given Adama Traore a run for his money, wouldn't he?
That's a similar skill, just really, really powerful.
Yeah, he was literally that quick, And obviously, excluding yourself, I know you're the best at this, but heading.
So heading, we'll go with. Should we go with my old pal Michael Morrison? I think.
Got a few good ones. Got a few good ones at the far stick, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We go Michael Morrison.
Passing
would be someone like Pake again. Pake. So obviously, he's been in the team since I've not necessarily played with him a huge amount, but he's such a crisp passer. He's a great passer. Rarely gives it away. That top player, I think. Maybe
he's got everything, hasn't he, to be with us a long time and eventually get us. Exactly. With us, hopefully.
He's another one of those players that you kind of hope that it grows with the football club. I apologise to any of the players that I'm missing out, because I'm sure I missed. Been that we touched on earlier, that many players that have come and gone in the last day.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate I'm putting you on the spot a bit as well. Skill, one like Jax McGowan was a pretty skillful guy. Even John Terrell, incredible feet. Someone like that. Dan Crowley as well. Dan Crowley, excellent first touch. Really close control. That sort. Go with John Terrell. John Terrell, and then finally football IQ.
Is it the obvious one? Is it the obvious one that's probably going to win a Ballon d'Or? That one are we going to go with?
It's not you, Juki.
You never say never.
Could have been.
So I think you'd have to say probably Jude. Maybe not at the time, but I guess it's something that he's. Even then at that age, he had a great IQ, but he's someone that just comes straight forward.
And while we're on that subject, obviously I've got that shirt on tonight, especially as well from that season. But would you say that when he played for us that season, and obviously you were the first, I remember you being the first person to jump on his back at Charlton away when he scored that lovely goal.
I don't know how he carried my weight, I'm not sure.
But would you say that he would have got as far as he did so soon, or was it a surprise to even yourself how much he actually grew in such a short space of time?
I think it was pretty obvious that we were dealing with a very special talent from straight away, to be honest. But could we have predicted that he's gone on to do what he's done, winning so much, scoring so many vital goals for the biggest club in the world before he was 21. I think that that would have been even a stretch for that. So it's incredible what he continues to achieve. So it's exciting to see what he's going to have in.
Absolutely. Alan, you got anything else you want to ask Juki?
No, just a nomination for your best header was the one at Reading. Last time we played there, I was right behind you when you headed that, and it was never not going in. Goalkeeper was in another county when he went past him.
I thought
that was my favourite.
Yeah, I was thinking Reading at home when I ended up sliding into the billboards. I think I ended up a diving header and end up just carrying on sliding into the billboards and hitting my head. But I really liked that one actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Two further questions have come in on the message board. Shout out to. So the first one's from our friends at Blue Tube, and they've said obviously Tom Brady coming into the club and having involvement from a physical side of things with his group coming through. So have you seen much of a difference or felt it yourself since the regime has started with that?
So I think, again, we touched on how the ownership have invested in every single department of the football club. So the sports science is no different. Like they've given us so much more than we would usually have, just on a day-to-day basis with even the supplements that we were given. There's so much more available to us just to make sure, particularly through the winter months, easily that people get ill, that you start to fatigue during those sort of long winter days. So from a supply, from supplements, that sort of thing, it's a real noticeable difference to the machines straight away that we've got state-of-the-art facilities here. There's been a massive investment in that area from the owners, which is obviously, hopefully you guys can see that out on the football pitch.
Cool. Yeah. The other one is it true that when you first came onto the pitch and you heard the fans going, that you actually thought they were booing?
Hey, I'm not too sure. Maybe there's a few still booing. You never know. To be honest, I don't remember that feeling, other than the fact that we were 1-0 down at home and I was just desperate to get on the pitch and make a difference. So we ended up winning the game 2-1, and it was a great home debut. But I don't know, it was kind of a little bit of a blur, to be honest. So that might be someone just creating a myth.
I've got to say, Juki, did you ever get the chance to play abroad, or would you like to have played abroad at some point?
I did, yeah. I did when I was a lot younger, actually. When I left Everton to go to Coventry, there was an option to go to a club in Spain, actually.
Okay.
Just at that young age, I was so keen to make sure that I made a career for myself. I think I was a little bit worried that if I were to go at that young age and it not work out, then I might not have a career to come back to. So I wanted to kind of earn a reputation in the English leagues to begin with, and then ever since it's not been. Yeah, there's always fleeting things that happen, but particularly with my family situation now, we're incredibly.
Yeah,
I suppose you could say Coventry's abroad anyway, couldn't you, Rob?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot different from home. I shouldn't say it too loud, my missus is downstairs. But
quick question for Juki. What is it like to play at a full St Andrews and to play against a sold out and away end? Because normally we do sell out.
Yeah, our away support's incredible, isn't it? Like the way that we travel in numbers, it's there's not too many clubs around the country that travel the way that we do. So that is superb. There's some ones that we talked about, the Bolton away that I played for Bolton, but also I remember a game really, really vividly was when Gary Monk had just come in, a Tuesday night game away at Bolton, and we completely filled their away.
Yeah, maybe I was there.
Yeah, and it was like nearly 5,000, and we went down to the away end afterwards and enjoyed the celebration together, and it was pretty special. So to be honest, so that the away support's always been phenomenal. And another thought that's just popped into my head was the Ashton Gate one on the last day when Shea scored the goal to keep us up, and my wife was in the stands actually then 8.5 months pregnant with our first kid, so she was watching the game and I was worried, 1-0 with 8 minutes added on time and they're sending their goalie up. I worried that she was going to go into labour. There's some great moments there, but we missed out a little bit with the COVID lockdown with the fans. Then after that, the stands needing to be repaired and things like that. So it took a little while for us to get back to a full St Andrews, and I felt for a few players that came and went, and in their whole time at the football club, they never got to experience a full St Andrews, and so it's so nice to, even if I'm not playing at the moment, be at the stadium and kind of get that feel for the atmosphere again, because there's no place like it.
Yeah, just a couple of questions off YouTube as well. So Mirza King's asking, who was your favourite? I guess he means at Blues. So who's your favourite manager that you've played for at Blues? I know you've got 11 to choose from, so it might take a bit of thinking.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is that the number? No, 11, is it? Yeah.
11 managers since 2015 you've played.
Wow.
That's got to be, you've got to be the record holder for that, mate, in like the club's whole history. I don't think there's one player that's played for more managers for Birmingham City than you.
You question whether that's across the whole of the football league.
Is that a record that you won?
Go on, sorry. Sorry, Juki, go on, mate.
Oh, so he's the manager. I think obviously a great deal of debt goes towards to Gary Rowett, the person that signed me. I think I had just come off a very serious knee injury and was looking to rebuild my career, really. So for him to show the faith in me, to say that he wanted to sign me, and I think we were going really well that season, and I think that would be something that I kind of would have loved to have known how that would have played out had he stayed the first time around. The makings of a really tough squad that just needed a few little bits added to it. But yeah, so I really enjoyed my time under him. Obviously, when he came back at the end of last season, unfortunately, coincided with myself not being available until the very last few games. So he was one. I think he was an incredible man manager as well. Really knew how to get the best out of people. And Gary Monk was someone that as well that I would say really galvanised the club when it was at a really low point. I think we were staring relegation in the face when he came in, and had we gone down that season, it would have been very serious for the club, because we were then going into a transfer embargo and a 9-point penalty deduction potentially in League One at that point. So for him to turn the club around in that short space, keep us up, and then to do such a good job that the following season with a 9-point deduction, a transfer embargo, I think sometimes is maybe overlooked. I think he did an incredible job. So he's another one. But no, we've had some really good ones, and our current manager, obviously, he's a fantastic coach, and he's someone that been so impressed with since he's come in, and to bring together a squad of 17 new signings and make them gel the way that they have, and instill this culture within the club, that the way that we train, the way that we play from scratch is no mean feat. So so I've been impressed with him also.
Yeah, brilliant. And Paul Bennett's asking, who's the toughest defender you've ever played against?
Toughest, I think you probably go John Terry. That is probably an easy one, I think, to say. It was when he was at Chelsea. So yeah, I think it was himself, Ivanovic at right back, and oh my goodness, I think we've got a little invader. We've got a guest here.
Hello.
So this is Amelie, and she's not happy that it's bedtime, are you?
No.
Oh no. Say good night to everyone.
Oh dear.
Shy.
So yeah, so I was just talking these guys through some of my my previous managers. So yeah, are you gonna go and have a cuddle with Mummy? Sorry guys, I'm not.
No, that's like not a problem at all.
So,
yeah, I have that effect on people. Hello.
Another one.
Okay, so where were we?
Yeah, I was just asking a few questions off YouTube. Who is your football bestie? He's asked by BlueTube as well.
Who is
your football bestie? So who's your best friend in football?
That's always a tough one, isn't it? Are you going to leave out? I mean, I'd say so. What? Yeah, and Michael Morrison and Adam Legston's those guys from my first stint when I first signed. So we've got myself and Michael have got kids of similar age, so that they all spend time together and hang out, and so it's quite a nice family dynamic. We did have Max Collin with us as well, but obviously he went off to France with his family and left us. But so we're due to take a trip out there to catch up with those guys. So we had a really nice friendship group with those guys with the kids as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Now we've what we sorry, was someone going to say something then?
So I tell you what, if can I have a 5-minute interlude just to
absolutely yeah.
Then I'll you talk amongst yourselves and I'll come back.
You can talk back there, see you in a minute.
See you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
No, see you later.
Can you hear me, guys? Have I got a bit of an echo?
No.
Bit quiet.
Hang on. I'll tell you. How's that? And is it echoey? Or is it just me?
No, okay. Fine.
I just have to say, gentlemen and ladies, I'm thrilled that we managed to get the 6-6 draw at Motherwell in. I'm chuffed to death.
I've just got to say that when Juki comes back, I have had a message from Harley Dean of something that I've got to read out.
Oh dear.
But yeah, we just got.
It'll be good.
Coming up shortly, we'll have the Who, like we always do when we get a player on, and we'll also have Juki's 1 to 11 as well, from obviously 2016 up to now.
Just want to say as well, Sunday and the game at St Andrews at Knightshead Park, having the two games together and the double header, I think works really, really well. But the other thing was, huge thanks to everybody at the club and to the groups that were involved with not only arranging that on the day, but also the Diwali celebrations, the involvement across the whole of that event just shows truly how diverse our fan group is. Everybody was involved. We had the dancers outside, then the dancers on the pitch as the teams came out, led out by the drummers, which was absolutely brilliant. And the whole day was just really nice to be there and be around. So thank you to everybody that was involved. It's Blues for All. That's the OSC Punjabi Blues team. Anybody that was involved, thanks for it. And we look forward to doing a few more of those in the future.
I noticed that the Shrewsbury away game is a 12:30 kickoff, so I assume it's on TV. Yeah. Any thoughts that I don't know whether it's a Saturday or Sunday, but any thoughts that you could do that again and shift the late, if it's a home game, obviously, shift the ladies' game like we did last time.
On a Saturday, though, Alan, that's the difference, and you have to give them notice. Don't we?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, it has to be done pronto, but has anybody give it a thought?
It has been discussed, and it did come up, and I know has been taken forwards by the club to look at potentially doing not just a double header in terms of the way TV, and then potentially into to the ladies' game, but also feasibility of actually having a men's game followed by a ladies' game.
Yeah.
So they're things that definitely are looking at, because we do need to build the support. Seeing 1,700 there is great, but also I've been down there when there's been 3,500, near enough 4,000 fans. We've been to Wembley, and I've mentioned it before, but we went to Wembley in the FA Cup final and took 30,000. So whilst it's an event that was there at the time, there is scope, and my encouragement is, and I think to use the words that Hope did when we met her, it was come down to one game, and I bet you'll go to another. And I think that's generally what has occurred, and it's what you hear as you leave the stadium. Even though the result wasn't good on Sunday, there were still people saying, we're going to come back. We really enjoyed it. So I think there'll be that way around, and hopefully, Alan, we can do it, but I'd love nothing more. Imagine having a full St Andrews Stadium for a men's game, and then having people around for the ladies.
Right. You talk about the ladies' game after the men's game. Does that happen anywhere else?
Yeah,
once before at Sunderland, I know it was undertaken. It's logistics behind it is some of the reasons why it's quite hard to do. But then also you got to think to yourself, you go on a Sunday, there's one stand open, you've got all of the people in the stadium just in one area. Whereas if you were to do a men's game, you're talking about keeping it open, having more people around, which means more staff.
There's loads of them though, Craig, across the country. I know Arsenal have done it. Man United have done it. There's a few. There's always an option that can happen. I know some of the lower teams down the pyramid have done it as well, so it could always be an option going forward.
Yeah, you're right there, Juki. Sorted.
Yeah, all good. I think so. Yeah, and until next time, anyhow. So
bless them.
Yeah, whilst you was away, Juki, I've had a message, and I'm wondering if you can guess where this may have come from. I've just got to repeat some words. The words are Borough away, Kiftenveld. I don't know why you're looking at me for.
Yeah, is Harley Dean listening in? Is that... yeah, that was an incredible quote. Yeah. So, I think so. Initially, Michael Kiftenveld, who, by the way, what a guy! Like the best teammate anyone could ask for. I think Blues fans obviously love him. Like wore his heart on his sleeve, like proper Blues player. And I think we lost. Did we lose 1-0 or 2? It might have been 2-0 away at Middlesbrough. And I think after the game, obviously tensions are pretty high, and I think that the manager at the time, so Kiftenveld had just passed one straight out of play, and he just looked at the manager for the reaction because he knew that he'd messed up. It was a terrible pass. He just zinged it out of play, and I think the quote was, I don't know what you're looking at me for. I can't help you. It's one of those things that stuck with us. And every time someone would pass it out of play in training or something like that, he would just turn around and say, I don't know what you're looking at me for. I can't help you.
Oh, brilliant. Now, what we do now is basically we've recorded someone talking that you played with, and we want to see if you can tell us who it is. So we do something called Who. So obviously, when we make a sub at St Andrews and all the fans go, Who? So it's just part of the show. Whenever we get a special guest on, we see if we can try and get them to tell us who it is talking. So, Chris, are you ready there on the buttons? He knows it straight away.
Oh, straight away.
Yeah, Lee Camp.
Too easy. I knew you was going to get it easily after what you said, to be honest. And then we'll come on to your 1 to 11, mate. So we've asked you to pick a team, but obviously based around all the players you've played with for us. Since 2016 up to now, and I guess this wasn't easy. And if you'd start us off with the formation and then far away with your team, mate.
Yeah, so I've got it written down. I've actually gone. What have I gone for? I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. Because you said I wasn't allowed to play, right?
Yeah, yeah. You definitely would, though. Obviously, if any of us picked it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, you've got a captain and manager as well. Sorry, we just need a captain and manager at the end as well.
Right, brilliant. Okay, so goalie was pretty tough anyway because, like I said before, I tend to end up being really pally with the goalkeepers. Even I don't know what it is about them. I just enjoy being around them. So, so I think I went for the goalie. Went for John Ruddy. What a career he's had. Played for England, like incredible leader, organizer. Such a dominating presence, particularly in his first year under Eustace. I think he was. Was he player of the year? I think. I don't know if he got it. Did he get player of the year under Eustace? I think so.
Before last year.
Yeah.
So certainly been such a commanding presence as well, and just an all-round top bloke as well. So I think he's a good start in goal, but. I think, it's a tough one because there's going to be so many, like Campy and Adam Legstons, they're going to hammer me for this as well.
It's be beeping now, isn't it?
Yeah, and Campy likes to remind me about my goal at Bristol City being all about his assist as well. So we have to give him an honourable mention. So I've gone for Max Collin at right back, fairly straightforward, Mr. Consistent, barely missed a game. Knew what you're going to get from him, real high quality player. Really good teammate, excellent table tennis player. Just what you want from a fullback. So, good guy. Still speak to Max as well as the families are pretty close.
Yeah, he's doing okay at Mets as well. Is he still? Yeah,
doing well. Yeah, so I think they're looking to bounce back up to Liga. They went down last year, but he's still playing fairly regularly. So I think really good pro. I've gone for Michael Morrison and Harley Dean centre backs. I think I've played alongside them for so long. people that I trust going into battle with, implicitly. Both really good organisers, good leaders, good people that you want to go into the trenches with as well. And could sort of chip in with a few goals from set pieces as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've gone torn between the left back, between Paul Robinson and Jonathan Grounds. So I'll probably play with a lot more with Groundsy, but Robbo, again, like a great leader, really professional guy, would organise everybody around him. Loved the tackle as well, which I think the Blues fans enjoyed as well. And Groundsy, like, great left foot, and he scored one of the most important goals that I've been involved in since I've been here. Was the goal right on half time against Huddersfield in the 16-17 season, just before second to last game of the season. Such a weird 10 men. Shade got sent off, and they were dominating the ball, and we needed something to hold on to, and he nicked a goal just before half time and kind of gave us that something to grab onto. So such an important goal. So I'll put him in at left back. So I've got two sitting midfield players. I just have to prerequisite this one with I've not really put in any players that have signed recently, just because I haven't played a huge amount of minutes with them, so I thought it'd be unfair. And then I'd also have to explain tomorrow in the change why he's not in. So these are all old players, bar one. But I'll take, so one of them will be Christian Bielik, but then this is his third stint at the club, so I'm putting him in for his second stint.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So he's Christian in front of the back four with Michael Kieftenbeld. So Christian with his passing range, and then Kieftenbeld's the guy that every Blues fan loves. I think the amount of work that he put in, he kind of covered every blade of grass, won his tackles, and just a brilliant teammate as well. Demanded the most from himself, demanded the most from his boys, and he was someone that you could have a full-blown argument with him on the pitch, and then 2 minutes later, your best mate's completely forgotten, and he was a real good teammate.
I always think back to his tackle on Jack Grealish, he's welcome to St Andrews challenge.
Yeah.
That was
iconic.
Yeah, it really is iconic. I mean, I remember we discussed that we'll probably get 1-3-1 at the start, and then but not. I didn't think, and he's like, right, yeah, that's me. Yeah, we got 1-3-1. I didn't think that one was going to be 1-3-1. I don't think you get away with that one. Yeah, when he tackled you, you kind of knew about it.
Yeah.
I like that he celebrated his tackles as well.
Yes.
So further forward, we've got I've gone for Jax Magoma, Jude Bellingham, and Jeremy Bella as a sort of three that can kind of mix in and out.
See, there's a player there, Jeremy Bella. He was good, wasn't he?
Really good player. So I was talking to someone about this team actually, and they said, "Oh, that's kind of left field a little bit." But it was just, I remember him. He was played out of position so much when we went to two. He often played left wing back and stuff like that. But when we played with wingers and he either right or left, he was so dangerous because he could cross with both feet. He could get you a goal. He could go by someone. So I think he was almost like underrated player, but his numbers were exceptional.
And that free kick up at Reading as well always sticks to mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. No, I like Jeremy Bella a lot. And then I've got, it was a toss-up. So I wanted Mags in there, and Riley McGree was someone I would put in there, but I don't think we got the best out of him at Blues. We didn't seem to play him as much as maybe we should have done, because in training every day you could see what a player he is. Excellent player. Always knew where the net was, always finding space in the box, that sort of thing. But I'll go, so I've gone Bella, Jax Magoma, someone that could just carry you up the pitch. He was so reliable with the ball, so worked so hard, and he had a lot of quality as well. And then
good, another scorer of wonder goals as well, wasn't he, Mags? He scored some great goals for us.
Yeah, exactly. And particularly the way that we played a lot of the time, sort of in a mid-block and needing to counter-attack on teams. He was someone that we would win the ball, and next minute he could just carry you up the pitch, and then they're having to defend their area. So he was really important for us, and what a signing as well. I think was it Burton that we signed for good signing for the football club, and obviously Jude I would have to put in there for obvious reasons. Really, he's just incredible quality. potentially the most complete football you could see. Really, there doesn't seem to be a weakness there. He can do most things that you'd want a player to do on a football pitch.
Yeah, 100%.
And a great lad as well on top of that as well, which is important. And then I've got Shay Adams up top on his own. I think he can handle it up top on his own. So I would, like I said, the rules are I can't play. I would have loved to have played alongside him. I enjoyed our time. We got to be a partnership. It was really fruitful for us. But he kind of blossomed in that year under Gary Monk. Once he got his confidence and started to realise just how powerful he could be in this league. He would start bullying defenders. He would run in past people. He could shoot off both feet with barely a backlift.
He definitely would have done it. Wouldn't have done it without you, mate. That's for sure.
Well, he seems to be doing okay without me since, but I appreciate that. He's doing all right in Surrey.
Yeah.
We had a good partnership and a really good understanding. We got on so well off the pitch as well, and I think we both just enjoyed playing with each other. Kind of complemented each other quite nicely. So he would be up top for me. Then I've gone for a bit of a coward's pick where I would have my co-managers, the two Garys, I think.
Yeah, a joint manager team. Yeah.
If that's allowed, if that's within the rules, then I think
because it's you, we'll allow it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think Morrow's my skipper. He was my captain when I came to the football club. I think he's an excellent captain. He's been worn the armband at most clubs that he's played at. He's a natural leader. So
yeah. I'm going to hand over to Claire now for quick fire questions. Claire, you got them ready? So for about a minute.
Yeah, I was going to just leave it to the shout box, but 1 second, let me find.
We'll have time to go back to it.
Just one question that's coming on the shout box. I think it's a great one here. Juki, we mentioned at the beginning, your forte has been scoring with your head. If there was one player that you could have to cross a ball that you've either played with or would love to have played with, who would it be?
Do you know what? It's just the first name that popped into my head is just because it is Lee Bowyer. So when Lee was the manager, so many times we'd be doing a training session and he would just end up being out on the side of the pitch just whipping balls in, and his delivery was incredible. It was spot on the money every single time. So yeah, Lee Bowyer is the first name that came into my head there.
Yeah, he was a great player in his day, wasn't he? Very good. Yeah, Claire?
So who was the loudest in the dressing room at the Blues?
Again, we had so many players. I think probably... Yeah, that's David Davis. Yeah, David Davis had a fair amount.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you normally eat before a game?
I usually like to go poached eggs, salmon, avocado on toast, and maybe a bit of porridge and a banana, something like that. Keep it quite light.
What's the best thing about playing for Birmingham City?
I think for me, I love the fact that I play for a club that seems to share the same values that I have. I think that I value working harder and being a good teammate and being fully committed every day. And I think that's something that, particularly at this football club, I think as long as you do that, then people are okay with you. So that's something that I feel like helps me affiliate with the club.
What song do you listen to before a game?
Do you know what?
Or music?
It's been many years since I've been allowed on the DJ set before. One of the younger lads takes over the iPod. I think I'm showing my age by saying iPod. So there'll be a playlist on there of some music I've never heard of, to us. But trying to think of the. I tell you what, Lee Bowyer had a really, really good playlist. George Friend put it together when Lee Bowyer was the manager. Can't quite remember the names of it on it, but yeah, no, I stay far away from it.
Who's the best player you've ever played against?
I'd have to say on the night, actually, it was Cesc Fabregas. I was on the night when at the time I thought, wow, this is a different sport that he's playing to us. Everything was just so easy for him. We were all running around, panting, cramping, and it just looked like the most effortless thing in the world for him to play a game of football. So, yeah, at the time I remember, Cesc Fabregas.
Nice. What's your biggest phobia?
I'm a bit claustrophobic, so we ended up away at Cardiff one of the Radissons, we ended up in the lift where there was, I think it was maybe 14 people you can have in there. We'd got to 13, 14, a couple of big boys in there. And I decided not to take the stairs and squeezed in. And we ended up getting trapped in the lift for about 45 minutes and we were late.
Oh, no.
You know? Rob Goff, the chef, ended up having to try and prise the doors out. It was in between 2 floors. He started off really funny, and then we rang and tried to get someone out, and they said it was going to be potentially 45 minutes, an hour, and you could see the condensation on the mirror behind it. Everyone's starting to get a little bit nervous, and I didn't enjoy that. And if the lift starts to get a bit tight, I just take the stairs, even if I'm on the top floor now.
Yeah. If you weren't a footballer, what would you have been?
I'd like to say musician, but I wasn't any good, so I don't think. Something pretty. I'd imagine a teacher or something like that. Yeah.
So, sorry, Claire. Simon Andrews has just commented saying he was in that lift with you as well. The coach driver, Simon Andrews.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can attest that we were all laughing and joking about it when it first stopped, and then as it went on. People started panicking and sweating, and it wasn't an ideal situation. I think we had Dan Crowley was in there praying. I think it wasn't ideal.
Sorry, Claire.
Nice. I think that's it, Paul.
Yeah. The only other question: favourite holiday destination is another one on there, I think.
When I was younger, I'll go to San Diego for when I was younger. I used to go out there. Loved it. Just sand. It was great. Bit of surf. It was brilliant. What a relaxing place to be. And then for now, as a family holiday, we love to take the kids to Turkey. I think all the resorts have got everything taken care of for the kids, and it's a nice place to go and relax.
Yeah, definitely.
Juki, what's your favourite away ground?
Favourite away, go with St James's Park. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or St Mary's, so I get to go home.
Oh, yeah.
Have you scored? You scored there for us, haven't you? St James's Park, if I remember.
Newcastle. No, did I? No, I think I scored in the home game, actually. I think I scored in the home game.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think David Cottrell scored in the game there.
Was it Courtney? Okay, yeah. There's another good player, a good crosser of the ball as well.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, apologies, Dave. Yeah, he'd be up there.
Yeah. Okay. Any more for any more? Are we at full time now, Chris? Or we got a couple of minutes for some chat box questions? We're done.
Full time.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, Craig. Any other questions you've seen?
Yeah, well, there's one where people are commenting. They can obviously see the shirts behind you on your camera. I know you showed us just before we started the one which was, I think, the 400 was it appearances.
Yes.
And then they've actually asked, what is that other one?
So this was a gift given to me by the one of the old kitman, JP. So he managed to get. It was the shirt that was actually against Bristol City. When I think it was my 100th professional goal, maybe. So he's managed to get the stills of the goal, and then on the right hand side is all of the 100 goals, what the fixture was, what the date was. So that was a really, really nice touch for me. We surprised it. So yeah. I was blown away with it. It was amazing.
I thought it was a list. I thought it was a list of managers that you played for.
It was nice. I like to inform Lee Camp that most of them were actually against him.
You got any other nice stuff lying around?
Oh, here we go.
Here he is. Yeah, Mark loves a memento, Juki. Yeah, he's all over anyone who's got mementos.
Is that right? Yeah. So what's one?
What's that, Juki?
What's the one in your background?
Oh, it's just the old penguin top, my old hooded top. I think there's $5 in the pocket.
Very nice.
Right. Yeah, there you go. It's not quite the same, but it's iconic.
Yeah, one more, Craig, off the shout box before we wrap up.
Actually, I mean, this comes back. You mentioned about goal celebrations, and it's been asked when Tom Brady first came to the club and you scored the penalty. Was the goal celebration a hint towards American football?
Yeah, it was. It was something. So I'm a massive American football fan. So when Tom came in and spoke to the group before the game, we were absolutely buzzing with it because it was surreal. Like for someone like that to be associated with our club, like initially I thought it was some sort of hoax when I found out. It was incredible. Then him to turn up at the game, so we'd sort of discussed about if someone scores, you've got to do something. I was on the bench and kind of didn't expect even to get on. So when I did, I think I'd only literally just been on the pitch and we got the penalty, so I just grabbed the ball and thought, right, yeah, I'll do that, and then did the touchdown celebration. Seemed to go down well.
Brilliant. Okay, I think that's a lot. Yeah, I think
who's your team, Juki? Who's your American football team?
So San Francisco 49ers and my team. Yeah,
someone has to do it, right?
But so my friend's wife is from there, so I feel like I've got a legitimate reason. So I said when we used to go to California a lot of the time. We do road trips from San Diego up to San Fran, and he met his wife there. So we thought, right, we've got to pick that team there. So,
yeah, my wife's from New Orleans, so I have to watch the Saints, unfortunately.
Oh, it's a tough year for them at the minute.
Yeah, it is.
Right, well, as we wrap up into an evening where we find out that beating Bruges away isn't for everyone, and there's only a certain West Midlands club that's done that in recent years. I want to thank you, Juki, for all your time tonight, mate. Oh, Claire, you got your hand up, and you froze,
and she's frozen. That is so.
Look at that.
Last question she's left.
That's a screenshot and a half. That one is. I'm cutting that
one. Statue of Liberty.
Absolutely, yeah. Juki, mate, thank you very much for doing this. Thank you for your time, mate. It's been very much appreciated.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks.
No problem at all. So, yeah, it's good night from me, and it's good night from Craig Courtney.
And it's a good night from me and Juki again from me. Thank you very much indeed. One question has come in that when you score the next goal, please can we have the Harley Dean shoulder shrug?
I'm back.
Might have to play copyright images too.
I want a tea celebration for Tilton Talk Show when you score the next one.
Yeah. See what I can do for you guys.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Yeah, Claire, sorry, what was you going to say? You put your hand up.
Boom! Like, put the Villa on there, which was great.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And then also it went off, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, you look like the Statue of Liberty. You was like that. Anyway, yeah, so good night from me, good night from Craig Courtney. We've already done that. So, Craig Courtney, who are you saying good night to now?
I'm going to say we'll go for a good night from Mark Meredith out in the States.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Juki. Good night from me, and it's a good night from Claire Giblin.
It's a good night from me. Thank you, Juki, for coming on for her game too. It's been a pleasure. And it's a good night from the main man, Chris Browne. He's saying goodbye.
He's scared to go. And I think he said good night from Alan Watton.
Yes, thanks, Juki. It's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And a good night to everyone, including who's left? Oh, the road.
Oh, that's me then. So it's good night for me. Juki, thanks for just everything. It's been brilliant talking to you. Thanks for everything you've done over the years. It's been brilliant watching you every week. If you want to bring me some souvenirs on Saturday, more than welcome. So good night from me, and good night from is there anyone left?
Juki.
Juki, it's over to you, Juki.
With you, what happens?
One job, Robe. You've got
one
job.
It's the Juki and Adams partnership again.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good night from me, and so keep right on.
Legend, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Juki.
UK? At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
The TalkSport Fan Network is proud to be partnering with Lotto from the National Lottery. As all of our favourite players hit the field again, Lotto's ready to get you back in the game. You never know when it could be your turn to win, so why not play today and see if you could become the next Lotto millionaire? You never know when it's your day to win, and Lotto is a game that anyone could win. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.